Cat here, your favorite ginger bibliophile. Hope you're all doing really well, and I hope you're in the mood for a grim tale, because that's what we've got for Monday. And a sleepy puppy. Burying her little facey face. A neighbor dared to try to get to their own house, so they had to wake up and then she stole his spot. Little man is currently on guard, so we'll see what we've got for today with the sleepyhead. Yes. And actually, I'm gonna steal some of that blankie because it's cold. And she doesn't appreciate it anyway. Usually you can't get her on the couch because she doesn't like the fuzzy blankie that me and Low Man stay snuggled under because we don't have a built-in thick fur coat. So, what do we have today? The thief and his master. That thief! Jan wanted his son to learn a trade. Therefore, he went to church and prayed to the Lord to tell him what would be best for his son. The sexton was standing behind the altar and said, "Thieving, thieving." Wow, there's just starting off trouble today. So Jan went to his son and told him he had to learn how to be a thief because the Lord wanted it that way. He then set out with his son to look for a man who knew something about thieving. After they had traveled for a long time, they finally reached a great forest where they found a little cottage with an old woman sitting inside. Oh, this just gets better and better, doesn't it? I could make some comments, but I'll let you fill in the blanks on some of these instead of getting into rant mode. Do you happen to know a man who's good at thieving? Jan asked. You can learn what you want here, said the woman. My son's a master thief. She's so proud of that. Then Jan talked with her son and asked him whether he was really good at thieving. Your son will be taught well, said the master thief. Come back in a year, and if you can still recognize him, I won't take any money for my services. He's a thief and he ain't gonna take money. Mm-hmm. Sounds like a politician to me. Bunch of liars. Okay, I couldn't resist. That one was too easy. The father went home again, and the son learned all kinds of witchcraft and thieving. Wait, is he supposed to be a witch or a thief? I guess you could double dip. I mean, they'd both be kind of fun. When the year was over, the father set out by himself and began fretting because he did not know how he would be able to recognize his son. He's getting a skill, not, a new face. As he was walking along and fretting, he encountered a little dwarf who said, Man, what are you worrying about? You look quite gloomy. Oh, Jan said, I hired my son out as an apprentice to a master thief a year ago. He told me to return about now, and if I can't recognize my son, I must pay him 200 tailors. But if I recognize my son, I won't have to give him anything. Now I fear I won't be able to recognize him, and I don't know where I'll get the money to pay him. I'm thinking it's really easy. Like, oh, here, you don't recognize this stranger, pay up. I mean, honestly, that's what I would pull if the guy's stupid enough to think becoming a thief makes you look completely different instead of just act sketch. But that's just me taking advantage of stupid people. Then the dwarf told him to take a crust of bread with him and stand beneath a chimney once he got there. You'll see a basket up on the crossbeam, and a bird will peep out of it. That will be your son. His son is gonna match. Okay. So Jan went there and threw a crust of black bread in front of the basket, and a bird came out and looked at it. Hello there, son. Is that you? Said the father. The son was glad to see his father, but the master thief said, The devil must have given you the clue. How else would you have recognized your son? Well, that's just rude, calling all the birds thieves. Let's go, father, said the boy. Then the father and son set out for home. On the way, a coach came driving by, and the son said, I'm going to turn myself into a big greyhound. Then you can earn a lot of money by selling me. That's not a thief, that's a magical trickster. That's kind of cheating. A nobleman called from the coach. Hey, my good fellow, do you want to sell your dog? Yes, said the father. How much do you want for it? 30 tailors. Well, man, that's certainly a lot, but since it's such a fine looking dog, I'll pay. The nobleman took the dog into his coach, but after they had driven along for a while, the dog jumped out of the coach window. Now he was no longer a greyhound and went back to his father. But what did he go back as, huh? With all his magic powers. They made their way home together, and on the following day there was a fair in the neighboring village. So the boy said to his father, now I'm going to turn myself into a fine looking horse, and you'll sell me at the fair. But when you see me, make sure that you take off the bridle so I can become a human being again. The father took the horse to the fair, and the master thief came and bought the horse for 100 tailors. Ooh, they tricked their own teacher. Ha ha ha. The student has become the master. However, the father forgot to take off the bridle, and the master thief went home with the horse and put him in the stable. When the maid crossed the entrance to the stable, the horse cried out, take off my bridle! Take off my bridle! The maid stopped and listened. My goodness, you can talk! She went and took the bridle off, and the horse became a sparrow and flew out the door. Then the master thief also became a sparrow and flew after him. They met and held a contest in midair, but the master lost and fell into the water, where he turned himself into a fish. The boy also turned himself into a fish, and they held another contest. Once again, the master lost, and he turned himself into a rooster, while the boy changed himself into a fox and bit the master's head off. So the master died, and he has remained dead up to this very day. Well, that's a little rude. He could have just been like, all right, I won. I'm going home. But no, he wanted to be a murderer and a witch and a thief. Well, that's a new one. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that. And we've got a sneaky little man down here below. Whee! I don't know how well you can see it, but I got my little man. And I will see you soon. Bye. Happy reading.